Hi everyone, Jailene here. What I'm talking about today is about others. Surreal or Lady Elaine had posted a video about how she reacts to Ji and that power from her other. And Crimson had seen it, and he had made some comments about how Jai affects him. So that got the discussion going, and Coach filmed a vlog today about it, which was really insightful. So thank you, Coach, for that. Kind of on the theme of others, I was kind of just going to go through my experiences with others. I guess my musings on others and experiences that I've had with my inspirational. So I guess for me, I have my dad. Of course, he's not like officially read, but from the soft reads. Sometimes families are like the hardest to read too. I believe soft read is that he's an IG. So he's not the direct ideal inspirational. For me would be a Jinai. So I think, while I really admire my dad, and I admire him as an IG, and I admire other IG. Of course, I find them very appealing. I think I always looked for that source Ji out there in the environment. So I think I remember very early memories. They're even they've been recorded in pictures, which have allowed me to go back to them even more solidly. I remember when I was 2 years old, I was a toddler, and we lived in this house that had some neighbors that had children, 2 boys that were around my age. And my mom would often find that I had somehow escaped the house and jumped over the fence to go over to my neighbor's place because I wanted to play with them. And both of them, looking at the pictures now, I could tell that they're Jinai. And so that wanting to complete myself, wanting to understand that Ji, that power that had so much pull on me, but was so foreign in the same instance. Really started from an early age, and I'm sure before that even. But those are kind of the first recorded sort of interactions with my other, and sort of that appeal from my other, that need for my other, that will continue on for as long as I exist. Because I'm a Jaini, and Jainis are ideal inspirational is Jinai. And so then I remember in elementary school, I had some very vivid memories. I was always a shy person, so I was a shy child. I was very focused on my studies. And so I was very bookish and really enthusiastic. I loved learning, so I was very much about that. And social experiences, I was sort of more shy because I wanted to learn about it, but I did more so by observation, and then I would come in and out. But I remembered from a very early age in the elementary school, there was this one boy. His name was Mauro, and I remember his smile. That's the thing that I still remember, is that smile. And that was definitely a G smile. And that smile was it made the environment okay. It was inviting. It was come and hang out with the tribe. You're going to be protected. Things are going to be in harmony between everyone and the members, and things are going to work out here in the tribe. And so I remember that because it was fun playing with him in the playground, in the schoolyard, because he always made everyone so generous. He had such a generous spirit, and that made other people generous. And he knew how to like organize kids with one, like how to make people play well with one another, which was really cool. So I remember that. So from a very early age, that Ji, and the Nai, but particularly flavored with the Nai, with that cunning, that insight to be able to, like see how things can be better and harmonious in a sort of more future-oriented way, was always really appealing. Then as I, because like I said, I was very bookish and focused on learning, and also I was in a house with double subjectives. So, and there was only one objective there, which was my brother, which is my brother, and so very heavily subjective. So social dynamics and social interaction is something that was not like native or like fostered in my immediate environment. So going out, especially once I got into my teenage years, and boys start to develop, hormones kick in, boys and girls start to develop, and there's this other energy that starts coming into play. Things can start, like the environment started seeming more threatening, because then it's like, because that G that's so, inviting and appealing and like makes you want to go and play with the tribe, that also can be manipulative. And, if you don't know like how to deal with that push and pull, like it can, you can be at the mercy of it in the social environments, and it's and that can conflict very heavily with your jai. So you have to make sometimes like decisions that will keep you more, keep your jai safe, because that's what you got, like that's your source power. So you need to keep that pure. So for me, that meant that, although I was never like, I could handle myself in social situations, well, sometimes better than others. I am unaware. But I was more of like staying, in the house and learning, like more like in my room, in my own space. I would spend a lot of time with my family, with my mom, who's also a Jaini. But I spent a lot of time in my room, not only like studying, but listening to music and reading books. At the time, I didn't have like a TV in my room or anything like that. But I did have like, my art, music. That was where I got a big connection with my other, and it was like a really, high other spiritual sort of connection. When I would listen, because it went through a long period of just like listening to songs and listening to those emotive tones that were being expressed by all these different people, and I really connected with it and resonated with the deep, like emotional wells that were being expressed. And after a while, I started singing along with those, and that would give me a big connection with my other, because I was articulating, I was expressing those resonations that I had with my jai, with that music. And so that, things like that with the music and with my like drawing and painting and reading books and like that seeing characters in the books, seeing myself how I wanted to be, like the jai healer, and like, but like I liked like detective, girl detective sort of books, serials. They're badass. They're solving the case and stuff, and they're going and they're independent and they're fierce, and they use their empathy and stuff to get clues off of people, and then there are invariably like Jinai in that environment, but they would be the ones that would like be able to see the Jaini, like what she stands for, and respect her and approach her. Of course, like no one is perfect. There's always missteps. There can be missteps with the inspirational dance in the book and movies. It can be very, everything goes perfectly. Sometimes not, so that's where the comedy comes from. Yeah, so the connection of, to my other through art and through expressing self-expression, that was a big way that I connected with my other. And so then that disconnect from what I felt in that connection through my art, to my other through my art, to the other in the environment, in the immediate environment, became really painful. That longing comes into play, because you need to, and I guess that's a challenge for subrams, is to bring their world that they have within them, or their power that they have within them, and make a place for it, make a way for it, make space for it in the world that's already so populated with, people, ideas, values, lots of different things like that already, putting a lot of static and noise, and have already occupied a lot of people's, that a lot of people have vested in them and have taken them in as their own. So, but then that's part of the journey of a subram, to do that, to take those powers and make space for it, and make way for it, and make that expression that you have, or that connection that you have with your other, manifest here in the environment, in the tangible, physical, concrete world. And that can be what I think for me, Podler feels really good, gives me that connection with my other, because and it's right now, I think that it is the best thing for me, rather than having a physical other necessarily as as that focal point of all of my energies. Because as a subram, I think I've talked to a lot of subrams about because you don't get as many opportunities, or a lot of subrams don't get, or even subjective interpreters don't get a lot of opportunity to put their source powers into the concrete world. There's a lot of buildup, a lot of very intense energies that you don't have a lot of opportunities to express. So it comes out really intense sometimes, and sometimes that an actual person is not the most appropriate focal point for that, because that puts too much pressure on that other person too. I think putting it on something that you project your other onto, that's not a physical form, can actually sometimes be the most appropriate thing, because it's larger in scope. It's more what would you say,
more pure,
more pure, I guess, and complete. And so yeah, I think that's a big thing right now for me, is just pouring my energies into something that I feel will be helpful to other people. I truly can see that, and feel that, and see that, and so that's a big connection to my other right now, and it feels really good. And so whatever other in physical form comes later on, that. This you always you're already got a connection of your source to the world that's separate from that, and that allows it to give for you to give your best and purest, I guess. I think those were the thoughts that came to me on my other. And thank you for sharing you guys' thoughts. It's really, inspiring stuff to hear it, and so thank you. So I'll see you guys next time. See you later. Bye.